Well, hello and good morning. Well, it's morning for me anyway. I don't know what it is for you. I'm Dakian. This is my Monday Miniatures Ramble for Monday, the 25th of November, 2019. And we're going to start with some finished figures. And what I'm going to show you in this first segment is, first of all, these two ladies from Dark Sword Miniatures that I finally finished. These are the minis that have been on my desk for the longest now. And I had an idea of painting translucent dresses on them, but I gave up on that. I decided, no. Well, it's not. This one is revealing enough, you know, because she's showing her hips here. There's nothing covering. There, maybe I should have painted that like fabric, but I thought it didn't look like it. It looked like it was supposed to be bare. And then we have the blue dress. And oh, there's a little bit more of a sheen left here, but oh well, never mind. I think that's okay. I can throw some more matte varnish on that probably. But yeah, I got them done as soon as I decided not to go with my original plan, but to do something more practical. These four are what I actually painted at the store painting session last week. I did not go with my original plan for which minis to do, but I brought these Reaper Bones from the latest Kickstarter. Very simple doggo, the bard. The face was not very detailed. The mouth perhaps looks a bit garish, jokerish in hindsight. But never mind. She's a bard. Maybe she has extreme makeup on. And then we have these cat people, who I feel turned out okay. Nothing special, but reasonably fun. Yeah. So, first 6 minis down, and I have a few more finished. And here we see some more bones. We have the Mimic and a couple of Knights. For the Mimic, the longest time he was just in wood colors, used just shades of brown, and I felt very unsatisfied. I didn't know what to do. It just felt very flat. But then I realized these smoother portions, they're sort of bulging out of the wood. That's the actual Mimic's plastic fluid form taking shape, and so why not give it a more fleshy tinge? So I gave it a slight purple glaze to make it look more living. You know, not just as wood, like flesh coming out of the wood. And hopefully it's kind of subtle, but still noticeable. Then we have the Knights, who are just... This guy is mostly metal, not so much else going on there. We have the shield, and yeah. And for this guy, it's a little shiny still here. I wonder why that is. Did I not varnish him enough? I did put on a matte varnish, but I had a lot of gloss on as well, so yeah, I think I'll have to touch up the varnish here. It doesn't matter on the metallic guy, of course. The symbol there, we have a Teutonic Cross. This is, of course, a Black Templars decal from Warhammer 40k, but it's sort of appropriate. I mean, it's with a Norman gear, it's anachronistic to have a Teutonic Cross, but like I said, the lance is my worst problem. The shield device isn't worrying me so much. So there we have it. Only 9 minis finished, but it was a slow week. I still have them sometimes. Let's see if I can explain why the rest did not get done. So on my work table here, we see the minis that I said last week I was going to paint at the gaming store. That didn't happen, and I said I would explain why, and the reason is transportation. because these are resin, and as I was packing them, the staff here broke right above her hand. I glued it back on. Later on, as I was just handling it, moving it from one table to another, it broke off again because I wasn't careful enough. And this dagger has also broken off at one point and had to be re-glued. So yeah, these are way too fragile to transport, which means I can't ever move a house because everything will break. But anyway, yeah, I'll just have to paint them here, and yeah. So I sort of got discouraged, and I didn't feel like doing much with them because I was disappointed in that fragility and the quality of the resin. But I'll get on it. I'll start working on them at some point this week, possibly. In here you can perhaps see that I didn't advance as much with the halflings as I thought. There's just a little bit more paint on them. Partly this is because I realized I didn't need them. The player who's playing a halfling wasn't really fond of these traditional Tolkien-esque halflings. So what I did was simply use an older mini, a human mini, but an old 25mm scale mini, which looks like a halfling or a gnome now compared to modern 28 or 30mm scale humans. And that works fine as well. Anyway, I will paint these anyway, but no rush. Up front here we have the reporter and her cameraman, who have been primed, and I've put down a base coat, or an undercoat perhaps, on the bases of a very dark grey. And that's about all I'll do with them until I bring them to the store, the game store, for tonight's painting evening, right there. Now the other newly prepped stuff is all these flying things, which I've not gotten around to priming just yet. There's no, I think the basing grit is dry, so I can do it as soon as I find some time and some holders to place them on. And as you can see, they're very three-dimensional. There have been, I'm not sure why this fence is so curved, but it has to be because otherwise it's not gonna, the crows will not be in the proper alignment. And here there were these two bats were separate and are glued in. The rest is cast as one big mass of bats. That gives it a little more openness and airiness. Similarly for the crows here, most of it is just one piece, but these crows here at the bottom, these are separate and glued into the base. And on these, this bat here and this one were separate and are glued on. You can see where it's glued on there at the back into the cross. So yeah, typical swarms. And of course we have the little sturges who are separate, either sitting on a branch or on a pillar of rock. And yeah, these will be really quick and easy to paint, I think. So nothing new purchased this week, so I'm catching up to totals, and well, a brief update on my post office woes. The Rise of the Mimics Kickstarter. The people who sent it are sending me a new set of minis. They'll probably take a few weeks to get here, but in any case, that's good. And the post office has partially reimbursed me. Out of the 92 kroner that they charged me, 75 was their handling fee, and they've given me that back. There's 17 kroner, which is about $2 slightly less than that in euros, which has gone to the tax people, and I would have to go to them and argue about it, which I cannot be bothered to do for such a small amount of money. So I'm just going to let that slide. Anyway, things turning out okay. But what new projects do I want to add? Well, because it is wintry now. Well, it's coming up on winter. It's coming up on December. Next episode will be in December. I usually have the what I usually do during the month of December is I try to have a sort of a Christmas theme, or at least a wintry theme. So I paint stuff that, well, has snow basis, essentially. Stuff that belongs in a wintry climate or Arctic or whatever. So, but I don't want to add too many new projects to the list because I've got some backlog, as you've noticed. And also this particular week coming up until next Monday, I'm going to be busy with other stuff most evenings. I will have less painting time than normal. But then things will switch around, and I'm actually, a lot of commitments will drop out. And during most of December, I'll have a lot of time to paint. So I think I'll catch up. But anyway, I want to add a few things that are wintry. And first off, I've dipped into this fan favorites expansion again for Bone 4, and I picked out these 4 models, which are penguins. There's a really big penguin and 3 slightly smaller ones, still rather large. So that's that. They will be easy enough to paint, I hope. And then from the add-ons, I pulled this set of Frost Giants, which consists of 2 giants, both female, interestingly. That's good. I don't have many female giants. And their Winter Wolf pet. So, yeah. Prepping those for next week. And secondly, I need some store projects, something to paint at the gaming store session next week. And for that, I've dipped into my collection of special Christmas promotional minis that Reaper has produced over the years. You see that they all have a special packaging which says Happy Holidays from Reaper. And these, I believe I got all of these last year. I'm not sure. Some of them I've collected these over a number of years. And I always get more of them than I have time to paint in certain Christmas. So there's some left over. So these are Christmas related, though not, in some cases not so obviously. The Gnome Tinkerer is, you know, it's supposed to be one of Santa's elves, except it's a gnome, so it could be a sort of general fantasy figure, I suppose. The Fairy Garland, it's a Christmas wreath that they're setting up, little flying thingies. And then there's this monster called Milk and Cookies, who I suppose the monkey or whatever it is named Milk, and he's holding cookies, which of course are gingerbread cookies. There you can see there's the star and there's 2 gingerbread men there he's holding, and he's sitting on a pile of them, the gingerbread cookies. So that's fun. That's clearly Christmas. And yeah, all of this will get prepped, and so you'll see it next Monday. So that was it for this week. Click like if you stuck around this long. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Comment if there's anything that requires commenting, or if you just feel like it. I'm always happy to comment, to read your comments and answer them if they need answering. And most importantly, join me here again a week from now, same time, same channel, with me, Dakian, who's now signing off.